Good morning, everyone. Very warm welcome to 582 sessions of Empowering Morning Conversations. Sir is traveling. Sir will be back. Hope Sir will be back tomorrow. Okay, I believe everyone is waiting for him. But today, one of our special EMC members, Indu ma'am, is going to handle the sessions. Before I hand over to Indu ma'am, just a quick reminder why we are here in Empowering Morning Conversations. We are the positivity warriors. We are spreading positivity and influence others. Every day we are here to support each other, help each other, to make each other stronger. Let's start our conversations with access consciousness mantra. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Yes. Now I'm handing to Indu ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shakti. Thank you very much for handing over on that nice welcoming note, right? All of life comes to us rather, all of us with ease, joy, and glory. How wonderful, right? Nothing more to ask for when every bit of life is full of joy, full of ease, and full of glory. Fame, peace, prosperity, everything comes along with that one affirmation, isn't it? How powerful. So today I'm just coming up with something that is of great interest to me, and you all feel free to tell me if that interests you as well. I'm a person who's loved stories and who continues to love stories. How about you? Just raise your hand, thumbs up, whatever, if you do, right? Yes. I think the most powerful lessons in life came to me through stories or with stories, right? And nothing remains in my mind more effectively for longer than stories, right? And some of the greatest values that I have accumulated over life has come through stories. Some techniques also I remember because I loved a certain story. Some qualities I have admired in characters, living, historical, fictional, non-fictional. Those qualities in those persons came conveying that message so powerfully to me because of the stories that were woven around those strong personalities. So that way, I am a very big, huge story lover, right? So today I'm going to share one such story that caused that aha moment for me. Okay. So this is not a childhood story that I grew up hearing on, but something I rather read in the newspaper much later, right? So, but it holds a lot of special place for me when I prepare. So I'm wanting to share that with all of you. So this is how the story goes. There is a scholar who has been invited to address a huge gathering in a neighborhood locality, right? Now, imagine this is not the day and era of Zoom technology, Wi-Fi. So it's not like they will sit in their place and connect wherever. This is way beyond, okay? Let's say about 300 years before ka story. Set in one of the rural villages near Rajasthan, but not in Rajasthan, near Rajasthan, let's say. And what happens is this, like I said, being that old, aged tale, this is a Pandit who has extensive knowledge in various areas, right? So he knows the Veds, the Shastras very well. So people throng in hundreds to listen to his discourses, and they get a lot of value out of his discourses and lectures that he gives. So from all the neighborhood places, people come in, large numbers by walk, by bullock carts, all of those, right? And he is booked well in advance, over a month advance notice, or even 2 or 3 months beforehand sometimes, because again travel and all also was not so advanced like these days, so they had to make those travel arrangements, reach another place in time, all of that. So now what happens is, when he goes to that on the day of the discourse, it's been pouring heavily, cats and dogs, okay, such heavy rains. And like you know, it not like these modern auditoriums and halls that we have now. It was the open ground, only can accommodate so many hundreds and thousands of people, right, in ancient days. So this is an open ground where the organizers had called for a meeting. But because of rains, the whole place is fully watery, right, and slush. So there is no place for anyone to sit, be accommodated, and very heavy downpour of rain. So it was not expected, right? So there was no, you know, time cushion for the organizers to convey about it to the scholar. So they could not change the plan. So morning, the scholar had set forth on to arrive at this place. So he has arrived. On reaching that place, close to that place, he notices that it is such a heavy torrential pour like that. So then what when he arrives there, all he notices is one person with a horse and a cart there. So he is asking him to take him to that nearby location where the meeting is about to start. So the person agrees to take him there, but he says, I don't think anybody will be there because of how it has been raining since morning. So he says, but I have commitment to go. So what will I do? So I have to go. Um, and people may be waiting. Somebody may come. So I need to go and show up there. So he says, okay, if you feel so, I will take you there. So he starts pulling the horse, and they start riding to that location, and they arrive. And when they arrive, like they knew, the horseman already knows that people will not be there. So when it is not a surprise for him, but for the scholar, he is shocked. First of all, he is disappointed that nobody is there. Secondly, his ego is also hurt. That how come everywhere people come in hundreds to visit and listen to my talk? How come in this place not even a single person has come? So he's very agitated, he's angry, he's upset, he's disappointed, everything together. Now, he's also worried because he has prepared so much, what and all, how he will start, how he will open, how he will deliver, how he will conclude, how he will get applause, how people will clap, how people will appreciate. Everything he has come with the whole package, right? Now nothing will be coming his way. So he's shell shocked and disappointed, utter disappointment. So now he says, what do I do? So I'm confused. So this horseman says, you are asking me, you're such a great scholar. How can I be of any use to him? But this is the only solace this scholar has. He has no other choice. So in times such as this, he's not considering whether this is an ordinary man or humble background or just a horseman. All of that is not coming to his mind, but he's saying he's the only person I can talk to. So he wants a sounding board. So to think aloud, he says, what do I do? What is at least tell me what's crossing your mind. So he says, sir, I will talk only in the language that I know. I am a horseman, so let me talk in my language. If you get something, you take a call. He says, he agrees, the scholar agrees. So the horseman says, sir, when I go to feed my horses at the stable, I have 30 horses. Some of them will remain in the stable, some will go out to graze. So when I take the fodder and go to feed them, I notice that on one particular day, let's say there is only one horse in the stable. All the 29 other horses have gone out, to the fields to, graze by themselves. Do you think I should be worried that 29 horses are not there? Or should I feed that one horse that is available in this stable? Should I keep that horse starved or should I feed it? He asks. The scholar gets thinking and the scholar says, yes, you will feed what is there. So the horseman says, yes, it is my duty to feed that which is here. So that is my dharma, and I will do nibhana mujhe. So I will not think about anything else. I will feed the one who's there. So now the scholar thinks he has got his message. He's feel like, aha, I got my communication from the universe. So whomsoever is there, I need not worry about who's not there. He says, thanks the horseman profusely. Okay, I need to do my duty, right? So now he looks around, and whom does he find? Only audience, horseman, right? So he says, yeah, you are there, and you are that one person that I have as an audience here. No matter who is there or who is not there, I will have to deliver my lecture, my discourse. So there's a huge mm, tree under which there is some kind of a shelter there they can escape the rains. So he sits down, and in the horseman is sitting by his side. So he says, listen to me, are you willing to listen to the discourse? The horseman says, anyways, I have to take this person back, I have to sit till he is there, so I will listen. So the horseman says, okay. Then the scholar gets very excited and charged up. Then he starts from the origin of this world, from the Adi Guru. Then he starts about how Vedas came into play, how all the Shastras, all the knowledge that has accumulated from different sources, everything. For a few hours it goes on, and then he feels that he has done his to his heart's content. He has given his communication. So by the end of it, he says, how have you experienced my discourse, right? What have you got? And then he says, I am a horseman, sir. I will know only what I can understand only so much coming from my background. This scholar is very sure of his capacity, right, to communicate and to make somebody understand and to create those thrilling experiences while they are stimulated for learning, all of that. So he's very sure of what a good job he can do. So he says, did you understand this bit, that bit? The horseman says, yes. Then finally, like for a feedback, the scholar asks, what is your overall experience? Let's hear that and let's leave. And the scholar has already got his preconceived notions of what he is about to hear also, because he has been to so many places, he has heard so many such comments, compliments, feedback. So he knows what he will get. So he's still waiting, right? So now the horseman begins to start. Horseman says the same lines again. He says, sir, you are a big scholar. Pardon me, I know only the language of my horses. So that is all that I will be able to speak. He says, okay, yes, go ahead. But I am a scholar. I can understand. Go ahead. It will be easy. Now, this is what the horseman says. He says, sir, like I said, I have 30 horses. When my 29 horses are away, I will feed that one horse which is there. He said, yes, yes, I know. That gave me the impetus and the motivation to deliver today's disc. And then he says, sir, but when I'm feeding that one horse, I will feed only what that horse needs. I will not feed as much as I have brought for all the 30 horses, or all my years of stacking and whatever I have accumulated from wherever I need to. I will not drop all of that fodder on that one particular time to that one horse. In Tamil, there is a phrase which says, idam porul eval. I will look at the place, I will assess the person, I will assess the situation, and only offer in accordance with all of that. Of course, the horseman did not say that. He spoke only his language. I will feed only that what one horse needs and only what that horse needs. Right? And the scholar again got his profound lesson from a source so unexpected, but a learning that was life changing. So that's what I'm leaving you with all today. And that day, I learned a powerful lesson too, that in all our communications, we provide only what our listener wants. We make an assessment in whatever we know, and we offer what is useful for them, what is their need, and how they need it in a way that they can understand, they can relate, and as much as they can assimilate. If we choose to offer what we like, what we want, how much we want, or how much we know, to showcase our knowledge or our expertise, it may be nice, but it may not be useful for the listener. So it is a co-understanding and a co-creating space in any dyad where two or more people are involved for that matter. It is energy that has to come together for making any experience a fulfilling one. So that's my story for the day. And now I'll invite you to tell me what is your takeaway. Thank you, Ashokji. That's so encouraging. Thank you.
A great story, Indu ma'am. But I feel in business, if I don't discuss some new things or whatever is in my mind, I may miss the opportunity. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
It may not be relevant to the person who is dealing with me, but some new things, new ideas, which I feel that I can do business with him. If I don't discuss, then I will lose the possibilities.
Yeah. If I have understood what you intended to communicate, maybe they are not seeing value yet, but you are sowing the seed for them to reap those benefits. But that's something that you foresee that they need or they want, or that might be useful, but not in that quantity, not in that space where you're not preparing the soil. The soil is never going to come and ask, I want these trees on me. So you will sow, but you will prepare the soil beforehand, before sowing. So that's what will make the difference, perhaps. So how much of seed, how it is placed, what is the time of sowing, how well you manure, how you water. So all of that will play a significant role, isn't it? Right? Thank you for sharing. Premji, did you want to share anything? I see that you've unmuted. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yes,
Can I-
awesome story.
Please.
Yes, Sir Sukshar, please go ahead.
Ashokji, please
Hello?
go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See, the language or the words to be used
Mm.
is the one which will our audience will understand.
Yes.
Yeah. Even if if the people are coming to get taught, if you are in the KG, you have to talk language of a KG
Yes.
person.
Yes.
If you are in the 10th standard, you have to talk the language of the 10th standard. And they should have come there prepared for learning something.
Yes.
It's not a passers-by giving a lecture.
Yes.
And that is one. Secondly, you have to go to the level of the audiences. It is told for a public speaking courses that you have to talk the language of the least known person in that whole gathering. That's why the big, what you call, Sabha we call it, Melawa we
Yes.
call it,
Yes.
at Shivaji Park or Bombay Chowpatty or this way. They
Okay.
talk very basic language so that
Yes.
even a chanewala or a hamal or a coolie can understand.
True.
They don't talk the language of a scholar there.
True.
So that is, you have to see, base is communicate whether whatever we are speaking has been understood clearly by the audience.
Yes.
That's more important. Once it is understood, it can be improved upon. But if they are
True.
not understood, you speak Latin and German in front of all of us.
Yes.
It's not going to be
Serves
of
no
use.
purpose.
We may find you only as a joker because we
True.
don't understand even a word. We will start
Absolutely.
laughing with
Yes.
your accent and how about joker hogi. We will start laughing at that.
Exactly. Yes. Very
So
true.
it's a very good, and I think that is what Sukhdeepak ji does it here also.
Mm,
He speaks our language. He
true.
doesn't he doesn't speak his language of that high standard. Thank you very much. It's wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your view. Thank you. Yes, Shakti, you're just about to share.
And no worries, ma'am. It's awesome story, ma'am. A lot of takeaways. But I do have one question here. Okay, consider this EMC forum itself.
Mhm,
Okay, everyone is coming here to learn something new and then want to improve.
mm,
But when we are coming and giving some topic, new topic,
mhm.
okay, some people may not get it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it may not be relevant to them, or maybe something's completely new to them. It's like a
Mhm,
taking them into the different space,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
So, but somewhere we missed how to access them, how much knowledge they are having, because we are not that much regular to some groups and stuff.
yeah.
So in that way, we may missed to access them. I mean, assess them, right?
Okay. Okay.
So suddenly, if you are going to the forum and in a halfway, if you are coming through the, okay,
Mhm,
this is not, they are
mm,
not getting it. How to
mhm,
switch, man? Because we prepared so much, and
mm.
then it's like that
Yeah.
struggle in mind, like, okay,
Yes.
these people are not getting,
Yes.
okay, but I mean, I'm prepared for something else.
Yes. Yes.
Let's switch over how to make it, ma'am.
So I'm just sharing again from my understanding, my experience. Two, three
Yes.
things that are crossing my mind right now as you are asking. Like one will be calibration, the ability for you to calibrate. Like you will notice that comes from being connected with your audience. So if you operate from my space, I want to deliver, I have prepared, I will go no matter what, then you will miss out on this ability to calibrate. But when you have the intentionality to communicate, to create some value addition in the people who are in front of you, it will come automatically. It will come from that space of compassion and genuinity to want to communicate to them. If you have that intention to touch them, to move them in some way, it will come, firstly. Secondly, you will be connected in a way to calibrate. You will notice one slight nod, one question mark on their face. And then you will ask that person, would you like me to clarify? Or if you feel someone is agitated, what is it? In group processes, we will do these things, right? So in a workshop, if I have a couple of people, a dozen of them, I will not just go ahead with my agenda of
Mm,
communicating everything. So I will stop. I will notice if the breathing is heavy, especially behavioral issues. If you're having trauma, if you're having some kind of a difficult topic that is being some life issue that is being shared, we need to be mindful. We won't just pass off like that and take things lightly. We will understand, stop to understand if somebody is breathing heavily all of a sudden, someone is withdrawing from the group suddenly, one comment, something has upset them or thrown them out of so we will constantly calibrate where each of them. And to your question, if it's a large audience,
mm,
hundreds of them, thousands, so we cannot, so then that much more preparation only would have taken you there. No, you don't directly get to be placed on a stage with 10,000 audience.
true.
Something you have done right to get there on the stage. No, if you're a performer, you're a
Yes.
dance, anything. So you play one shot at a time, that's when you get to that level. So there you would have accumulated, at least you won't assess individually, but energy wise you will know what's called as vibes. We
Mm,
will know the vibe of an audience largely. Like
yes.
Ashok ji just mentioned that, like an LC, the least common denominator, you will know the general vibe of the audience. So
Yes.
there, if we go by this principle of, you cannot, if you end up wanting to please everyone, you may please no one and not yourself also. So how much can you deliver to the large audience? So
Yes.
there we go a mid path. So not extremities, because there will still be somebody who are not in acceptance of whatever you do. We cannot satisfy that audience. And there will be that audience who are unwilling to take anything. They are so full of themselves. So we are not going into those extremes who are not wanting to share or who want to refuse anything. But we will look at the median, the in between, and people around it. That's the masses, right? So how the majority, how we can satisfy. That's what we'll do. This is what is coming to mind. So calibrate the intentionality and then presence of mind, how you change your. So you don't go with rigidity that this is how I will deliver. You like he was saying, talk the language of the masses, change. If it's a suddenly you notice that the vernacular language only will help, switch to your regional language. You know, it's not lowering the standard. You can still communicate what you want to communicate, but just tweak around with words, with thoughts, reduce the intensity of what you want to convey. So change, play around. All of that will come with experience. That's all I would say.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. It's useful. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, it's all good if you are doing a physical meeting. But if you are in Zoom, it's difficult.
I'll ask you one question. I'm also understanding with you. You're here on EMC most days. Is it effective?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a virtual platform that we are meeting, isn't it? And you still take value, isn't it, Shiv Prasad ji?
Yes, but very few people are taking, no? There are about 50 to 70 people in this group.
Yeah.
15 are attending.
Yeah. You're right. Let me tell you something. 15, 20 people are attending. What if I told you that is great? Every day, 15, 20 people are attending, which is great. You conduct a live program every day, 582 days. All of how many of us will be able to join this meeting in a live space every day, 500 days? It has its own challenges, all mediums, online, virtual, hybrid, your physical spaces. It all has its own pros, it has its cons as well. And as a trainer, if you ask people, they will tell you how difficult it is to get live audience for a workshop. 4 people, 5 people, you announce a program and then you just wait and watch. We all know how a physical space will allow for connecting, bonding. In the last 2 years, you would know when you speak to trainers, even if you even before, I'm saying right now, we can compare and see. Earlier it's like we had no choice. You'll announce a meeting. How many times I've come across trainers who have called off meetings because there are no takers? So we know, we work with what's best available at any given time.
It's true, but if it is physical, it's difficult. In Zoom, even few people I can manage, or I can go ahead. But if it's a physical meeting, I don't think we'll be able to continue like that.
So now you have switched to the other side. When you say, do you notice? You're still saying, you're now saying that if it's virtual, I can manage, but if it's physical space, then I won't. So do you notice we change, no? In seconds, you can shift, and when you can shift, others' viewpoints can also shift.
Okay, thanks.
Right? Thank you.
As Shanti ma'am, before you are going, just I want to leave one point. Even in Zoom, okay, if the people are coming on video, okay, that vibes what we are getting. When they are switching off their video, we don't know whether they are receiving the message, whether they are not getting that. That is missing, basically. Then we are not able to proceed further, whether they are getting or not getting. That kind of confusion, obviously, in all the mediums, it will be there. It's like a different pros and cons. Yes, just I want to share. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Shanti ma'am, yes ma'am, please go ahead.
Can I add something?
Please.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Shiv Prasad ji, you're a boss. So when you say it is a military order, but voluntary meetings, I am a Rotarian for last second generation, and last 25 years. Pre-COVID time, we used to have 100% attendance. All the members used to come, their spouse also used to come. And it used to be a big gathering. But after COVID, out of 50 members, hardly 7, 8, 9, 10 they come. It's very depressing for the president to stand there, use a collar, air-conditioned hall, all preparations done, and only 3, 4 people sitting somewhere, eating something, drinking something. It's very, very depressing, I agree, but that is voluntary. You are, in your mind, you are working as a boss. One circular and all better come, whether they are having a temperature or not, or the loose motion, that doesn't matter. They have to be present. So there are two different things. One is the military and one is a voluntary. So what we are talking is of a voluntary, not the military rule. So the discipline and rules are totally different. In company, you had already selected those who are above certain level, and they know their responsibility of attending. In voluntary, वो ठीक है उधर क्या चाय मिलेगा क्या would we get some snacks? Are there any gifts for attendees? Okay, let's go. शाम को किधर जाना है, कोई काम नहीं है तो चलो उधर जाके बैठेंगे, आर्ट गैलरी देख के आएंगे. It is something like that. So the approaches are different, but the takeaway from here is be prepared for for surprises which come from nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Thank you.
Shanti ji, yes, we'll take hers, and then I'd like to leave you all with one question, and then we'll process that and wrap up. Yes. So meanwhile, as Shanti ji also gets started, I will put it out so that you can get started on processing. So my question would be, what is that story that is holding some value for you right now? Because you will notice if you have kept that special, you will act also on it. What's the story that's left an impact on you? Now, so many hundreds of stories you would have heard over so many years. The easy way to go about it, say which is the last or the latest which has left a huge impact, or your earliest memory of a very strong story. Either way you can process, or that which is stopping all the chart and standing on the top of your head. Any of these three ways you can look at it. What is the latest that's left an impact on me, or what is my earliest memory of whichever story I heard from my grandparent, whatever it is, and which is the story that is having most fond memories or very impactful in my life. The reason I'm saying this is your life has a good chance of being driven by these, what you got out of that story. Okay. And the first question that I asked, what's your earliest memory? There is a good chance you wrote your life script based on that story. So if we go to any transactional analysis for that matter, if you're talking about life scripts, fantasies, your current reality based on your old emotions and experiences, it has a lot to do with how you got all your inputs from those stories and how you have shaped and panned out your life to justify that theme. So it's huge process, but then we will not go into that voluminous work. We'll stay with how this story is impacting and what do I create because of this moral, this theme. What are you creating based on that story? This is what I would like you to look. What are you creating right now in your life? What are you making your reality because you liked that story? Right? Yes, Shanti ji, please go ahead.
Ma'am, today's lecture is a profound lecture, I would say. I agree with Ashok ji that you cannot go and teach all those lessons of 10th standard to a first standard student.
Yes.
The first standard student can grasp only up to his level.
Yes.
And you cannot teach a 10th standard student the first standard lesson.
True.
And all the life principles are very, very, all the life values and principles are very, very simple.
Mm.
If you just understand one principle in the best way,
Mhm.
you can easily understand and
Yes.
assimilate all the principles. That is
Yes.
possible.
Yes.
And one more thing is like you can learn a lot from stories. If
Yes.
the same facts, if you lecture all these facts for half an hour,
Yes.
you will not understand the facts. There is something, okay, I have got something, but I don't know what it is.
Mhm.
But if you tell it through a story, it will have a great impact on human brain.
Absolutely.
The brain will process the story and will get this story will remain in your brain for a long time, and
True.
whenever you process the story, you will be getting new lessons out of
True.
the story, new lessons according to the situations. You will get new lessons from the story, and whatever we learn,
True.
we learn only through stories.
True.
The stories will remain. Oh, this character behaves like this,
Yes.
and I have a great impact about that story. And if I want to be successful, I have to behave like the character in that story. Likewise, we are shaping ourselves. And one more thing is like there may be 15 people in this room, but the level of understanding is 15 various levels. All cannot understand the same story at the same level.
True.
You have addressed now. Because we take something which is relevant to us, which
Yes.
can be understood by us.
Yes.
And it's not that if you just tell only once and we will get the whole thing.
True.
It will take time for
True.
us to assimilate, and also the very next day also we can forget everything and we'll talk in the same way we communicate with people. We don't understand that idam level. If you just tell me once, I will got the message and I will tell you from the next conversation, I will change the way I communicate. That will not happen because already I have a habit and I will follow only that habit. This may have a little bit of influence, but when I again and again practice this lesson, if I am a trainer kind of thing, then I will take the profound lesson from it and I will deliver from the next. I will practice it for a long time, then only I
Yeah.
can assimilate the whole lesson and I
Yes.
will change my level of communication
Yeah.
according to the listener.
Yeah. Got you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you
one
for
more thing,
sharing.
like if there is 500 people, it's not that you have to make a huge value put upon them to understand. All the big great speakers, they will speak only very general thing, very basic value, but in a different mode. That's it.
Yeah. And you also notice as you speak, you are sharing your points of view,
Yes, this is my
which may not be the true for everyone. I'm
yes,
just going to
yes,
show the mirror. This is not about being right or not, because you just mentioned something that it's not that you will get in one time. That
yes,
is your point of view. But here there could be so many others. For
yes,
them, just one message, one short communication is enough
yes,
to get that. Because like of course Ashokji was just saying, in military order, they don't keep telling it like stories 300 times. Just one order and people will get it, because that's how they are trained to get
yes.
it in that one. So
Already
it is that,
Kyoto,
I'm
yes,
just saying, that's also a point of view that we hold. Only if I keep hearing over and over again, that story will be impactful for me. That
yes.
is our, and we can choose to change when we want. That's
Even in
the
companies, if the CEO first delivered his vision, all the people will not understand it.
now do you
He
notice
has
that you
to,
are
yes,
reiterating your point of view once again, that
yes,
all the
he
people will
has
not
to,
get.
every week meeting, he will be telling the people the same things until they get his message and implement the strategies in the company. It will
Get
take not that in one shot, the CEO can tell, this is my vision, just follow me. That is not possible in a even in a company like.
Yeah,
The
thank
company's vision is different and the Rotarian's vision is different. Their views are different.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Shanti ma'am. Thanks for your thoughts.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yes.
But this is a
so time is
great
up.
profound lesson. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am. Time is up. Thank you. Thank you so much, Indu ma'am. Thanks a lot for your time and session. It's amazing session. Thank you so much.
My pleasure entirely.
Yes.
So I'd like you all to go back and start your day with that question. What am I creating based on my stories? If you want to, you could share in the group as well. So because I know many of you may want to leave for work. So I think we can take
Yes.
it ahead from there.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thanks a lot,
Thank
ma'am.
you so
Thanks a
much,
lot, ma'am.
Indranil.
Thank
Yes,
you,
it's
Hemantji.
amazing
Thank
session,
you.
ma'am. Thank you so much. Hope
Yeah,
sir will be back
Venkatesh ji, I
tomorrow.
think wanted to share something, but if there's a minute you could allow, because he had I noticed that he had raised his hand to share. So
I understand. Yes, yes,
he
Venkatesh.
may just want to check. I don't know if he wanted to share, but I saw a hand raise icon.
Yes. Venkatesh, sir, do you want to share anything?
Actually, about the stories we from childhood we love the stories, and some impress you. Like when I was a child, I was reading one book called Chandamama, which had some moral stories and all.
Yes.
Even those stories, they always impress you in such a way that they remain in your mind always.
True.
So what makes a story interesting, other things and all, I will speak another day.
Yes.
Today is late. I
Yes.
just love to listen a shairi from Kamal Dupare.
Oh.
Please ask.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Nice.
Sure, sir, I will do that. Yes, thank you so much, Indu ma'am.
My
I will take care
pleasure.
of it, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Grateful,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Yes,
Shakti.
yes, Kamal, sir. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Good morning, all, and
Good morning.
thank you, Indrajit. In the morning when we saw you first, it was in mind that we'll definitely going to get some great wisdom today. And really we got it from the storytelling. And what I'm contemplating is like, I was thinking of like how the Kabira, Rahim, or Gyaneshwari, they tell their universal Gyan in a very common language, so that a common person can understand it. So if you listen to all Kabir's Dohe or Rahim's Dohe, it's not in some, the words are not so high. The words are very simple so that they can understand it, very clearly understand it. So that's what the text taking out from me also. So when I speak to any person, communicator should be in that level so that he can understand it. Thank you. Thanks. Regarding share, so
Yes.
Thank
share
you. I'll take
Sakshi.
leave.
Sundeshi
Yes, yes,
ma'am.
please go ahead. Please go ahead. I'm here. Please go ahead. Yes.
मन में कुछ भर के जिएंगे तो मन भर के कैसे जिएंगे? It's just just 2 line only.
Yes.
मन में कुछ भर के जिएंगे तो मन भर के कैसे जिएंगे? So that's the takeaway. And how to translate it? How to?
I know it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Like if you have.
How full can I live?
You just understand it.
How
Yeah.
life can be full and how full I can live.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs.
Correct.
And regarding the story which you tell, there is another share which says that मैं बोलता गया हूँ वो सुनता रहा है खामोश. No, the story will tell. मैं बोलता गया हूँ वो सुनता रहा है खामोश. ऐसे भी मेरी हार हुई है कभी-कभी.
Yes.
It's more related to this story.
Yeah, sometimes you win as you lose, and sometimes the reverse can also happen.
Yeah, more related to
Yeah,
this story.
yeah.
Thank you all. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you
Thank
all
you.
once again for the
Yeah,
wonderful
thank you so
opportunity.
much,
to
Indu
connect.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Session,
Have a
Shakti and Indu,
fantastic day. Yes,
Thanks a
yes,
lot.
Major. Good morning.
for having enlivened and enriched the morning. So kind of you.
I'm so glad to connect. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
everyone. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Shakti. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your time. Yeah, thank you, everyone. See you all tomorrow morning. Sir will be back tomorrow.
Right.
Hope. So we all are waiting. So see you all tomorrow, 7 a.m.